Oh, the crazy best friend.
Here's this guy from Barry and a bunch of other things.
What?
Do you remember a spoiler for Barry? But
Spoilers for Barry.
his friend, who he shoots in the car.
That's him?
That's him. Yeah, he was a child actor.
Oh, my God.
He's in a great episode of Seventh Heaven that's all about huffing paint.
Bang.
Bang. Bang, there it is, in the immortal words of Tag Team. There's the original version. Bang, there it is. You said that your coworker told you that Up, and Away, this movie, was in the top 5 worst Disney Channel original movies. Based on what we've seen so far, it sounds like you are agreeing with that.
Yep.
I mean, I will say,
I think she might be right.
It's the shortest we've watched.
Yeah, it was really
an
short.
hour 17, which is never a good sign.
No.
But it did feel just as long as every other
yes,
of them.
it did.
That's for sure.
I'm so... Because I came today and I was like, I'm a little more tired than normal. Because usually I take a nap between the coffee shop and here. I didn't have time for that today. So I was like, man. Ugh. And I was like, maybe this movie will wake me up. Because sometimes when they're really good, I'm like leaning forward.
Sure.
No.
Yeah, not a chance.
That was not the case
today. This is one of those... See, that's the thing. There's a lot of movies on this list. Can of Worms most notably comes to mind. Although Punks is no slouch in this area either. I mean, these movies just take energy away from you.
Yeah.
It's almost as if these movies are the aluminum foil to our superpowers.
Yep.
That's exactly what it is like. Couldn't have put it better. There's no other way to say it than that. Yeah, I think that I would feel zapped, because especially after, like, Can of Worms, I was like...
That was brutal.
I feel like a dead person. I feel like a waking dead person. I think the only thing that kept me going through this one was the fact that it's an hour and 17, so I knew...
Yeah,
it always felt like the end was coming.
It started wrapping up at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, it just... We were...
That's how you know it's good when they start. Like, start trying to tie up loose ends about 20 minutes in. Yeah. The one bright spot, though, being
Sherman Hemsley.
Yeah, that's why
I looked it up a minute ago.
Yep, I can never think of that guy's name. But yeah, he was great. That
dad
one
from
scene.
The Jeffersons. In case anybody's like, who the hell
Mr.
is
Jefferson.
that?
Oh, you don't know Sherman Hemsley?
Come on.
Yeah, what are you even doing here?
His stuff was genuinely pretty funny.
Yeah.
But it's like, because he's a good actor.
Yeah, exactly.
And so he just made it work.
And it was really just that one scene. Like, he's in a little more, like, he talks to the kid and stuff, and he does a good job in those.
And that scene is good, It's like one of the only, I don't know, it feels like one of the only real interactions in this whole movie. Like, everything is just so... There's too many, elements in this movie.
Okay.
It's like soccer and the dance, and he kind of has a crush on this girl who's in it a little bit, and his friend, and an evil corporation, and he doesn't have superpower. Like, I don't know. It just felt a little... Like, the whole, soccer captain thing almost could not have existed in this movie.
Oh, 100%.
It literally didn't matter other than they get along at the end.
Yeah.
But you already know that by her asking him out. Even though her memory's wiped, she still likes him. Right. I don't also need them to be co-captains. I get it. They can get along. I already know that.
I kind of like that they are co-captains.
I guess, but I don't know. The whole, I just felt like more energy could have been put into, the relationships between the characters if they weren't doing all this random stuff all the time.
Now you're just talking crazy. Relationship between the
my
characters.
God.
This is Disney Channel.
Because
Emily.
horse sense, that's all it was.
That's true. Oh God, I can't believe I'm pining for the days of horse sense. So good. I honestly have not stopped thinking about that movie since we watched it. It's so it was really good. It was not bad.
Good.
Yeah, it was definitely solid.
Oh man.
Although I have seen since then another clip of the Lawrence Brothers podcast, and it really is just Andy, the youngest one, just sitting there saying nothing the whole time,
no.
and then once in a while they'll cut to him and be like, "Yeah."
Oh no.
At least that was just that's what happened on when they were on Bert's podcast, and in the one clip that I happened to see.
That's funny.
But I mean, I don't think I just think he's got nothing
he's
to
having
say.
An off day.
Yeah, I think he's just doing
probably
his thing.
not as much as
Okay, but speaking of relationships, I guess that were in this movie, the parents in this. What do you think about that? You got any thoughts on them?
Almost have nothing to say about the parents in this movie. Well intended, but like dumb in like a Xenon way.
Kind of. Yeah, you know what? I can kind of see that Xenon level of ignorance.
Like
soaking
your son
through a
is
little
right.
bit.
Your son is correct, and
The whole everything. All right, sorry. My brain is starting to kind of break itself apart thinking too much about Bronze Eagle and Warrior Woman. But the dad kind of like I don't know. Maybe if I watch some scenes again, and I really don't want to, but it feels like most of most of the scenes are like a person, is somewhere or they go someplace, and a person like shows up and then the one person pretty much does all the talking and then they like go to the next scene.
Mm-hmm.
So it's either like your scene or you are just set decoration kind of.
Yeah.
But these parents, the dad talking about the kid not getting superpowers.
Yeah.
That's bad parenting.
Sure.
Like, that was pretty
Sure.
brutal. And
But then that's the other thing is the characters in this movie. It almost feels like they wrote a script and then they made all these changes to the script without it being like, oh, how is this going to affect like. I'm trying to think of an example because in the beginning he's like, I don't want to bring up his birthday party because I don't want to pressure and blah blah blah.
Uh-huh.
But then the mom is all like acting like it's like the dad's like, I don't care if he has powers. But then, like, oh, I do care if he has powers. But not in, like, a he can't make up his mind way. It literally feels like they wrote the character two different ways and, like, tried to put both of them in the same. It happens again in
That makes
another
sense.
scene. Or, like, the little girl says something when she's like, oh, you were trying to fly earlier.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, maybe a little. And she's like, no, you didn't. Like, it didn't. I was like, did they, like, fuck up the editing in this movie a little bit? Like, it just... And it felt like it happened a lot, like, small times. And that
Yeah.
it just, like, really put me off. And I was like,
Well-
these conversations, like, don't make sense some of the time. And, like, is the dad upset or is he not? Is the mom mad or is she not? Like, I don't know. And I know it's, like... in real life, people aren't simple. But in like a Disney Channel movie, it's like, oh, one character's kind of the same way the whole time and then has a change of heart. Like the dad in like Brink or whatever.
Right.
He's kind of like a hard ass the whole way through. And then he has his moment of like, oh, I feel differently now. But this movie, like everything was just so like ambiguous
That's
the
weird.
whole time.
Yeah.
I don't know. It like threw me off when I heard some of the like dialogue. I was like, wait, what? And it made me feel like I didn't know what was going on.
Yes.
But I was like, I don't think it's me. Like,
It's
I don't
very-
think it's me.
It's very hard to get your footing in this movie. It's hard to understand what's happening. It's weird because, like, on one hand, it is very straight, like, superhero. There's a bad guy.
Yeah.
They stop him. Obviously, the
And
kid
the
has
son
to be
is
the
like the
one to
black
do it.
sheep of the family.
Right.
Like,
But,
okay.
but at the end of the day, he's the one that saves them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. He outsmarts everybody.
That's right. He uses a little bit of this and a little less this. But really, he just kicks a soccer ball.
Yeah.
And like that. That is stupid. The way I don't mind soccer being like, hey, this kid's got a lot of, if it was like this, this kid has other things in his life besides being a superhero.
Yeah.
But for it to be that he has to save them by using his
Yeah.
soccer prowess
Yeah.
is brutal.
Like I never thought I'd say this, but it's like I think they should have taken a note from Genius, where it's like if you wanted to make it where, oh, he has this thing and a sport like
Yeah.
that are in conflict or whatever, like really lean into that,
Right.
or just you showed everybody on the bleachers a couple times. And they talk about him being bad at soccer, so it just made the whole like ending kick thing. I was like, whatever. Like
But I do love Kevin Conley having to like rush into position
it
like
looked
the goalie.
hilarious.
Yeah,
like,
it looked funny.
looked funny.
Gosh, what else happened in this thing? Okay, so the grandpa knows that the kid doesn't have superpowers.
Yeah.
The whole social structure of the superhero community is what's fascinating and
Yeah.
very fucked up.
Yeah.
We
It's
said
so
it. Watch
weird.
it like that. The superheroing in this world is a cult. It's a full-on cult.
Yeah.
Like
He's taking like an oath and stuff.
yes, he's taking an oath.
Like a weird oath.
Yeah.
And they're all like, it was very strange.
Super weird. Like I really thought they were all like, okay, this kid is in the club now. Everybody drink your Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Like I thought that's how that scene was gonna end. But the grandpa knows that the kid doesn't have superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
Then, during his birthday party, the first emergency that comes up, the kid literally has just finished his oath.
Yes.
There's a lady. There's one lady in a burning building, an abandoned building
Yep.
that's on fire. There's one lady in this. You better go take care of it. And like
Right, like
at that point, if you're the grandpa, you got to step in,
Right.
because.
yeah.
And how did he keep fooling those people that he could fly? He was just throwing. Dude, that soccer ball. That
so
soccer ball
funny.
carried the movie. That was the real hero of this
Honestly,
movie. Was that soccer
when you really
ball?
think about it.
But you got if you're the grandpa, if you're what's his name again?
Oh,
Hemi Shekels.
his
If
real
you're-
name?
Yeah. If you're Hemi Sheks,
Sherman Hemsley,
Sherman Hemsley, pretty close.
AKA Steel Condor.
Yeah, if you're the steel condor,
Yeah.
better than Superman. Maybe that's why he wanted to do is like Superman's grandson.
Yeah.
You know. But like that kid's gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta do something, man.
Yeah.
That's just negligence. That's just bad parenting all the way around. And you know what? That kind of, to my point, like the mom. I mean, she is like talking to the kids and stuff. Like she's always telling the daughter, like, "Hey, don't stop burning
Stop
things to the
lighting
ground."
things on
Yeah,
fire.
but in the same way, it feels like neither of these parents are paying attention to Scott, even though they are showing up for like his soccer games and everything.
Right.
So I don't know what that is. I guess it's just because like all they ever talk about is superheroing and superhero related things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is probably why even more.
They're like, oh, he's normal. He can't possibly have problems.
Yeah, I know. Not like us. Not like
Not
us
like
super
us.
people.
I also feel like visually, this movie was very like washed out. It's like very flat.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Which definitely didn't help the
desaturated.
costumes
Yeah.
either.
Right, yeah, that's the thing. It's like superhero movie, make things pop. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Like in this, I don't know. It was like
Get some
very
pop
like,
in here, guys.
yeah, it looked like it wasn't color graded
I don't
after
think
they filmed it.
Yeah.
Which just made it more. I feel like it made me more tired. Like looking at.
Thinking about the
Just
look
like-
of this movie is making my eyes want to close right now. It's making me feel like I'm looking at some earth protectors. What is that? What
Earth
it's called?
protectors,
Earth
yeah.
protector screen. Just mouth fully open.
And it's like the Earth Protectors lady who like wrote this program because she was like, I'll brainwash children.
Right. So
into-
if I okay, you were just
Yeah.
gonna say what
Well,
her
so
plan was because I want
this
to make
is
sure I
how
don't get it
like
wrong.
she started out as like, I know it's not right, but I'm gonna create this program to manipulate the minds of just children to do things that are better for the environment, to like help them recycle and like
Yeah.
walk to school or whatever.
Children are the future.
Sure. And so she was like, I'm doing all this hard work in the environmental sphere and it's not working. So I'm going to do this. And she was like, it's not right, but like, I got no choice. But it only works on kids because adults have their own opinions.
Right. Not like kids who we can manipulate.
Right. Exactly. And then she sees the error of her ways. But then this guy, what's his face? From Entourage.
Yeah, Kevin Conley.
Kevin Connolly, whatever his name was in this movie. He's just kind of like there. And you get the sense that like they don't really know each other.
Yeah.
So then it's like, what is this relationship? Like, how did this happen? Did he find out she was doing this and was like, oh, I need in on that? Or like, I don't know.
My guess is that they had some kind of romantic relationship at some point, whether that's still ongoing or not. But my guess is Kevin Conley, somehow found out about the technology that she already had and was like, oh, I'm going to pretend to be a real hippie type to get in close with her and then just take this technology and use it to
Also
get other people to rob banks for me. Yes.
I think so,
that's
yes.
it. Yes. The perfect bank robbing technology.
right.
But anyways, her creating the program, her creating the program to brainwash kids, to mind control kids into living more eco-consciously is pretty interesting. And I do kind of like, I don't like the way that the bad guy goes about, like, his idea on how to use that technology, but I like that that's the technology that he wants to use and she wants to do it for like something else. But any type of brainwash technology is not going to be good.
Yeah.
And if you're this woman, who obviously she's very smart if she put that
Right.
together, maybe not socially necessarily,
Sure, but she's obviously like some kind of genius.
right, and she has a moral compass, right?
Yeah.
Like she's
And
all
then
about saving the earth.
She's like, oh, I'll just go back to recycling. And it's like, lady, you could probably get a job with like NASA.
Yeah, you could do
Like,
anything.
you could, yeah. Just,
There's
you
no
know,
other mind
shoot
control
a little
technology
higher.
in the world.
Like,
Right.
it's okay.
Yeah.
And the thing that I found so funny was like the transition from him like pretending to be a hippie. He's like wearing giant
So-
Hawaiian shirts and like puka shells.
Well, that's how you
and
know
then
who the
all of a
biggest
sudden
hippie
he's
is.
wearing like a black velvet suit with tiny purple sunglasses. And it's like, oh, this is the real him. This is his final form.
But I
Like,
like that, like, in that moment, he doesn't have the millions of dollars yet.
No.
He's just dressing, dress for the job
Yeah.
you want.
exactly.
Criminal masterminds like us.
Right.
Self-identified
criminal masterminds.
criminal mastermind Kevin Conley
Yeah.
once said.
How many-
Those tiny-ass glasses.
Oh my god, that was pretty funny.
Well, what do you think about rating this thing?
Oh my god, I still dislike Can of Worms more
Mm-hmm.
because Can of Worms was bad and also just had like so much like gross out factor that I just
Yeah.
can't like get down with. Even as a kid, like I didn't get down with. So, but like this, I don't know, like I'll give it a 4 for the grandpa. I'll give it a 4 for that guy only,
I like
and the
it.
grandma who is not a superhuman.
No,
She's just kind of married to that guy.
that's true. She
Really
doesn't
funny.
do
I like
anything.
to think it's his second wife.
You think his first wife had superpowers?
I don't know because those genes must be pretty strong if everyone in the family had it except for one of the grandkids.
Oh yeah, no. I would assume that the superhero gene is like dominant.
Maybe. I don't know. I just thought
Because how else would they keep getting more superheroes?
I'm just imagining it in my head that way, and it's funny because they don't ever refer to her as like mom. She refers to.
That's true.
She's like, oh, you know how your father is.
Yeah.
Talking to the.
To,
whatever.
to Bronze Eagle.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with Steel Condor.
Or. Warrior Eagle.
Yeah. Well, who would
that
make
sounds like
that
a yoga
mistake?
pose.
I think it might be. I think I've seen
Warrior definitely
Yeah.
is.
You just combine a couple. I think
Sure.
I've seen Adam Levine hit the Warrior Eagle in Vice magazine or something like that.
Maybe yeah. I'm going like maybe like 3.5. I really didn't like it.
I think I'll give it 4.5. I feel
Wow.
like that. feel like it'll sit there pretty nicely.
Yeah.
I don't have too much of a reason for that, but I think it'll be good there.
Mhm.
And the wife of Steel Condor, who doesn't get a name. She doesn't get a name.
No, nameless.
Nameless wife of Steel Condor.
Mhm.
She does though drop the Spider-Man reference though.
Yeah, they do talk about. Yes, that
there are a
was-
lot of there's
Yeah, they like
references to
mentioned like real
Superman.
superheroes. So like, I don't know how all that stuff worked in the year 2000.
I mean,
I have no idea.
it's a couple years after Marvel had sold off. Had gone through like one of their really bad periods.
Yeah.
Financially. But yeah, they reference a bunch of superheroes. But this movie also came out like before Fox's X-Men and before the Sam Raimi Spider-Man then, obviously. So this is like
Right.
one of the earliest live-action superhero movies.
Yeah, even as like a Disney movie, but
Yeah,
still,
that we're
because
seeing.
like they didn't mention like just Marvel. They talked about Superman.
So
it
Steel
was all
Condor's got
across
a
the
big
board.
feud with
Yeah.
Superman. Yeah, they get
so
everybody.
it wasn't just like, oh, these ones are owned by us, so
Yeah.
let's drop. You know what I mean? It was like kind of all over the place.
Maybe it was like, you know how in Roger Rabbit they have like the Looney Tunes and the Disney cartoons, and they had to do some like special stuff
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just like maybe it was a quick like some kind of agreement where you can reference Spider-Man, but you'll have to reference Superman
right.
also.
Yeah, and it's like,
if that
and
makes
you're not.
sense.
They're not going to depict them at all. So like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
whatever.
Just talk shit. Just talk shit on
Yeah.
it. I do
Yeah,
like.
it
We
is
don't
pretty
actually
funny.
get to see that moment, but I do like, when the grandpa, when we hear him going Krypton, Krypton, Krypton.
Yeah, that's
he
so
really does
funny.
kill it. He really.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and this movie,
It's pretty
like,
good.
I thought. You didn't like Randy, did you say?
The
'Cause I
friend,
thought- yeah,
he was
I
like
thought Randy was.
he was like
solid.
doing what that character does.
Yes.
he was like a very good like kid actor. He was like a kid who's like putting his all into it.
Exactly.
Like he was not holding back. He was being a weird little dude. He was fine. Like he was,
Yeah.
he was funny.
I feel like they put so much weight on it's there's so much pressure on
characters like Randy to carry these movies, to kind of like revamp the kids' attention a little bit. I feel like when you're watching this. And the kids, like kids who are whatever that actor's name is, but there's always one kid I feel like in these movies who, unfortunately, it's like, this whole movie just pretty much rides on you. Like
it's like, sorry, kid.
No one else is gonna bring any energy,
no,
or any charisma or anything like that. And it was the friend in Don't Look Under the Bed, big time had that, and now Randy.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how much else to say about this one. Yeah, ranking
as a separate list.
Well, because there's not really a Gilbert in this movie. I mean, Randy would be the Gilbert,
sure,
but it's such a different. He's a Randy. He's not a Gilbert.
Yeah.
He's a Randy. Like Jesse from 13th Year, Gilbert, not a Randy. Randy
100%.
is in a league of his own.
Yeah. Randy was much more like the imaginary friend in Don't Look Under the Bed.
Yeah.
Like just being crazy.
But this was the first one in the 2000s.
Yeah.
This is how Disney brought in the new millennium. Disney Channel. Pretty brutal.
It was a mistake.
But maybe they were like, Y2K is going to happen anyway, so
they
whatever,
were like,
we don't
whatever,
have to. This will never air. Right.
Yeah.
We'll all be nuked by then.
Because it was January 22nd.
January, yep.
Look.
And then February. Oh, because Black History Month.
Oh, that is probably
why
it came out in February. I am so excited for The Color of Friendship.
It's
it's
a good movie. I'm excited to watch it with you
pumped.
guys. Yeah. Should be cool.
Yeah.
That movie I know is going to have good parents, because I remember that dad.
Yeah.
That dad is so good.
I remember the mom pretty vividly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking about this to someone, a friend of mine yesterday, and I was explaining The Color of Friendship, and he was like, isn't there a That's So Raven episode where, like, they have an exchange student from Africa come stay with them? But then I couldn't remember if that was real or if I was thinking of a different show.
That does sound like it happens on some show. I don't know. That's So Raven's foray into the problem of racism is that
They won't hire her at that store.
They won't. Yeah. I don't hire black people.
Yeah. Okay. That's So Raven. Raven befriends an African exchange student who turns out to be a prince.
Whoa.
Because I remember like one scene.
Answer those phishing emails, people.
Every once in a while. I mean, don't do that.
Don't do that.
To all the old people out there listening, don't do that.
Yeah. All the old people who love Disney Channel and love Patreon.
Are we the old people?
I don't know. Sometimes it feels that way. But
yeah.
No, we're still young. We're still full of youth.
I saw this Reddit post of a guy who was like, I'm 30, but I still feel like I'm young.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like my 18-year-old self. Like, I hang out with my nieces, and I feel like I joke around with them and whatever. The niece was like 12, and he was like, I'm super childish. And they were like, everyone in the comments was like, yeah, I feel that way too, but go talk to an actual 18-year-old. Then you'll feel 30.
Right.
Like, he's like, you might feel that way, but go talk to a teenager, and then you'll feel old as hell.
Yeah, there's a difference between being a Randy, honestly, being like kind of childish and like full of energy, and then, being in the know, actually being hip. Yeah, right.
And then
after Color Friendship, Alley Cat Strike,
bowling.
Rip Girls, which I do not remember ever seeing on here.
Surfing?
Oh, I hope so. That'd be so cool.
I want it to be surfing. That'd be cool.
Honestly, after Johnny Tsunami, there cannot be enough surf movies in this. Do you think they put soccer, just to go back to Up and Away, do you think they put soccer in this movie, though?
Because they have to
it's
have
like
a sport in it?
Right, because that's like, this kids play, kids play soccer?
Maybe.
I don't know.
God, it's like, you don't
exactly
do that.
Exactly. But they don't understand that yet.
Yeah.
It's still 2000.
Yeah.
Miracle in Lane 2 could also be a bowling movie.
Yeah,
I don't think it is. I think that's like a horse racing movie or something like that.
Okay,
I don't
maybe.
remember. I'm sure Jake has looked that one up.
Probably.
Stepsister from Planet Weird. Heard of that one. Never seen it. Ready to Run. Never heard of that. Don't remember ever seeing it on this list before.
Like a track movie? We're really going to be watching a track movie? I don't know if that's what it is, but...
there has to be a track movie on this list, for sure. They had to have...
They can't do all the sports and then, like...
Yeah. There has to be some trial and error for these bad boys. Quince, I do remember. That's got the girl from Halloween Town in it.
Okay. Is it about quintuplets?
Yes, it is, Emily. Yes, it is.
Cool.
Her parents have quintuplets, I think, and then The Other Me, which stars Andrew Lawrence.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So he's back. He's back, baby. He's back in the saddle.
And then Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire.
Oh my God, one of my all-time
so
favorites.
Excited.
I've
that
got
one's great.
I got a couple of tiny little stories to tell about that one. Oh, Phantom of the Megaplex after that.
Mm-hmm.
See, we're hitting
Maybe we're
about to get into a really curious era here. You know what I mean? This kind of like where some of them are still bad in the way where it's like, well, it doesn't seem like a ton of people are watching these or whatever, so they're kind of can be terrible, but still maybe some of the people making them are like, let's give it a shot here.
Yeah.
You know? And that's goddamn.
Because I feel like with these movies, I don't know. I feel like in the production, if there's one person who can like really vouch for like one aspect of it, and if that aspect is like set design or like just decoration, like art, like it makes such a big difference. You know what I mean? And like, oh, make it look like this people live in this house, and then maybe make it a little darker in there.
Right.
Like, my God, it looks so much better. It looks so much better. Like with Horse Sense, that place looked lived in.
It really did.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I could see that maybe them like not being a set that they built. That they like were like, hey, can we film in your cabin? Like found an actual, I don't know. I feel like when I used to watch, you know, like whenever I've watched movies for like film classes or whatever, and you're watching like big budget movies, you're like, oh, that stuff doesn't matter because you think it doesn't matter. But then when you watch movies like this, you can tell like a huge difference when like whoever was doing wardrobe or like art department was just like non-existent. Like I feel
they
like
probably didn't have any money,
maybe
or they,
not.
you know, that's not what they wanted to put money towards. They wanted to put it towards
flying around.
Yeah, taking off.
So then it's like,
which kind of I think feeds into your point more because like to do the flight special effects, it's never gonna look good.
Yeah.
Like for them at that time, like as much money you probably put so much money as much money as you can afford to into that.
And
it's
then
never gonna
else
look
was
good.
So like bland
everything
looking.
Else gonna pay for it, you know.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I know. You got.
I've done my bout of complaining today. I'm so excited for next week.
It's gonna be good. Finally, a good movie. And then what's it, sister? And then some. Yeah. I feel like we're gonna have to get through some weird ones real quick, and then easy sailing. The Ultimate Christmas Present. I think I remember that.
This one, way out of order. Going to the Mat. Is that a wrestling movie?
Gotta be. Yeah, going to the mat. Which that one.
They were really probably
good.
Trying to push kids to like do sports.
Oh, of course, and I mean also relate to them kind of as well. Like I mean when I was Scott's age, I was playing soccer.
Yeah,
still
that's
probably.
True.
Maybe. Oh no, when I was 14, no, I had gotten out of the system by then.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I got out of soccer pretty early.
It was close. It was close there for a while.
Waiting on a softball movie. Let's see
I don't
when
know
that
if they
shows
have
up.
a softball movie.
We'll see.
I don't remember a softball or a baseball movie for my days.
I was gonna say Alley Cat Strike, but alley, like bowling alley.
Right,
I'm sure it's probably not that. But
yeah, I don't know. I feel like that Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off.
Oh my God.
I feel like that had something to do with baseball. That's not even. Oh wait, there it is. 2003.
Did I watch that movie?
I don't know. I think there's something in that movie that like has gone viral before.
Yeah, because I feel like I remember.
But I don't remember what.
But I like in the last like year. Did we not? Did you have it on one day?
No,
before
no
Matthew
way.
came in.
No.
Why do I? Wow, this is really freaking me out. Whatever.
See what happens when we get to Eddie. Might unlock some secret stuff.
Because like I didn't watch it as a kid, but I feel like I remember in like the last year. Or did we watch a different movie that had to do with like cooking? Where the kid was like, he's like oh no, I'm just thinking of in Brink when they're in like home ec and he like leaves to go to like practice for the evil rollerblading team.
Oh my God, that movie's so good. Remember at the beginning when they have that race like in the hallway or whatever, by the fucking outdoor lockers?
Yes,
so good.
Oh man,
the movie rules.
God. Anyway.
All right. Well, yeah. Stop thinking about this and let's just
go do anything
dreams
else.
of Brink. Yep. Get out of here.